And it is 20 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, wearing her Kiwanis Club of Roswell hat this morning, Laurie Schotz with us. Good morning.
Good morning. Sorry.
How are you today?
I didn't get ready for the interview.
That's all right.
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. I would imagine, because you live out in the country.
I know.
You probably didn't see many trick-or-treaters coming your way.
No, I did not. But I do carpool, and that gal said that she didn't have any either. But then I was listening to your sister radio station, and the chamber gal, Jessica, said that she had a lot. So
Really?
I guess it just depends if you're in that pocket of families that are in that age group that's going to go out and do it.
Yeah.
And there's so much trunk or treat and so much safer that way, maybe.
Sure.
Parents.
Absolutely, yeah.
I will tell you, though, big news in my world and my family was my niece was pregnant with the second, supposed to be induced on the 2nd of November, and had her yesterday.
Oh, so a Halloween baby.
Halloween baby.
Just like my wife. Her birthday's
yep.
a Halloween as well.
I heard you talking about that, too.
Yeah,
so we have another Halloween baby.
Well, in a couple years, she's going to think everyone is getting candy for her birthday.
For her birthday. Isn't that
that's
nice
what my
that
wife,
she does that?
My wife thought that when she was a kid. It's like, it's nice everyone's getting candy for my birthday.
So welcome to the world, Haley
Awesome.
Ferguson.
Well, that's a good treat for Halloween. So,
yes.
Absolutely. Well, in case folks haven't heard, one of the Kiwanis Club of Roswell, their big project they've been working on with the city here is this all-inclusive park, and so everything they've been kind of doing is fundraising towards that over the last really 2 years here.
Yes, sir.
So I imagine you guys are still in that trying to get. I know they've got plans and things, and I know
this is actually our third year. We're going into our 4th year of fundraising for it because of COVID.
Yeah.
And of course, you can't
hurdles.
count that year because we didn't feel we could ask anyone to help us during that year. So and then slowly coming out of it. I mean, everyone thought when we were done with it, everyone would rush out and be able to, and that hasn't been the case. And then, of course, the economy. So yeah, we're still in the trenches.
We're hitting walls, but they're going to bust through the walls, and this all-inclusive park is happening. A little longer than anticipated initially, but it will still happen. There is obviously the Kiwanis Club is a strong commitment to make this happen, and I'm sure there's people in the city as well equally committed. And so it's just a matter of getting the logistics to line up, the supply and demand, the world. But in the meantime, we're keeping to raise money because we know the longer you wait, construction costs don't get cheaper. It's just not how it works.
Especially this day and age, right?
So we want to keep in that mind to help out and things, and we'll tell you different ways you can get involved here.
That's
in a minute.
right.
But if you're interested in becoming a Kiwanian, they focus on kids. That's their main mission statement is a service organization focusing on kids. They're in the schools.
It's changing the world one child and one community at a time.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's
you want to be part of community as well.
So if you kind of feel like that's something you kind of line up with and something you'd like to get behind, then we invite you to come out to the next Kiwanians meeting.
Which is today at noon at Cerritos. And the first time you come, we do pay for your lunch. So you might want to come out for a free lunch and see what we're all about today.
Yep. Go down and pick something with steak on it.
Mike, I'm going to send you the bill now.
Let's get a burger. But they got great food. So if nothing else, you're going to have a good lunch.
That's right.
But so today at what time again?
At noon.
At high noon.
At Cerritos.
At Cerritos Restaurant right here on North Main. So.
And we just changed presidents. It was Barbara Gomez, and now it's Ron Lethko is our new incoming. I shouldn't say incoming. He did last month. That was his first month. So this is his second month.
He's current president.
He's the current president.
Good deal. So who's because I know you guys select a year in advance the next president and all that too, right?
Yes.
So who's your elect?
Gary.
Okay. So Gary will be taking the reins here. Is it a year or 2 years?
Yeah, he won't take the reins until October of next year.
Okay, so
almost
a full year as president. Okay.
But he comes to board meetings now to get ready to
they get him
be
ready,
the president.
And generally, they don't make the president just the new person that shows up. Generally, it's
and they only serve 1 year, where directors serve 3.
Gotcha.
I think treasurers and secretaries also serve 3.
Gotcha.
So that's the one position.
And then
that
do
does
the past presidents serve a year as kind of an emeritus type deal?
Well, right, and to guide the new
Barbara's
president.
not going anywhere. She's just
no.
not
and Barbara was
anymore.
president 2 years in a row.
Okay. So that means you got to do 2 years of emeritus?
2016. That's what I think, too. And she was the president in 2016 as well. So,
okay.
And that's the same with Ron. I think he was president. I'm not going to guess. Many years ago, he was president.
So he's got experience.
And Gary has not been, I don't believe, but he's been like everything but.
Well, he's going to have a year of education on
right.
it.
Right.
What he doesn't know, he'll learn in the next year here. But the Kiwanis Club's going strong, and of course, we'd love to come out today. Come out for lunch noon. Today. Come and usually have a great guest speaker, and then and then of course discussing whatever your plans they got to for upcoming events and things like that. So.
Right.
So what do you got coming up here that we want to put on people's radar?
So we've been, lack of better words, nickel and diming the fundraising. We have letters out there as well if you just want to be a sponsor. And we are obviously partners with the Autism of New Mexico.
Okay. Is it Autism Speaks or Autism Society?
Society, I believe.
Okay.
Then their national.
I know there's a couple different organizations.
Not the fundraiser, but not the groundbreaking, but we were shown the site. It was called the Celebration of the Site.
Okay.
And he was there for that. And then you have several people here in town that are involved with the state organization. So we don't want to leave them out because our focus is going to be on autism, but it's for all children, whether disabled, not
That's
disabled.
That's the whole point.
Anything, wheelchairs,
if you're a kid,
attention deficit, that's fine. Yeah. It doesn't matter. We want all kids to be able to play together and learn from each other.
That's the all-inclusive park. It's if you're a kid with zero disabilities or issues, you're going to be able to enjoy the park. But if there are kids that are on the spectrum or having other handicaps or things like
disabilities.
Disabilities. Thank you. That's the term I was trying to find. They equally get to enjoy it. It's not like, okay, well, there's this one thing at the park you can play with, but the rest you really can't. This is, hey, when you're done over here, go run over here and play on this piece of equipment. And that's just it. The kids, doesn't matter on the spectrum, they can all enjoy it. And then the idea is, you know what? You can make more friends, and these kids, you know what I'm saying? That's
right.
This is how it's not just the fun part of getting to the ability to play on the toys and the different things.
Yeah, playing is more than you get more out of playing than just enjoyment.
Yeah, but
there's a lot of
socialization
and learning and making new friends and getting connections, confidence.
Not to mention, I would imagine, knowing Sean and other people that have children on the spectrum. There's a lot of trial and error going on there, especially as they're getting younger and they're trying to find out what things they like, they don't like. And so this is very good for that, too, to maybe even broaden their horizons.
Right.
I mean, obviously, each person on the spectrum is different, but tendencies are that, they kind of find wheelhouses and that's what they want and no other and anything else. And so.
And this is the only one that we know of in southeast New Mexico at this point. So there is one in Rio Rancho.
Oh, good. Okay.
But there is not one anywhere else. So we have had calls, at least Ron has told us, from places that they're like Hobbs and different places. When is this going to be available? When can we bring our kids?
The demand's there.
It's going to bring people to Roswell as well.
I would guess at some point children's playgrounds will evolve into these more all-inclusive playgrounds. Like this is where the technology's headed.
Right. That's right. Exactly.
Like in theory, when we're all sitting on the porch and trying to find our teeth, those grandkids will be the ones playing, and there'll be hopefully one of these parks in every neighborhood. But
I mean, remember our swings were metal and and then it would be hot out and slide and you'd stick
and then you fly into the rocks.
Right. And we liked it. No, I'm just
and the slide was 8,000 degrees even in the springtime. I mean that like probably the most famous slide in Roswell, the rocket slide that was at the Spring River Zoo for many years, and now they've repurposed it into an art thing. We all love that slide, but we all know how many of us as kids. Yeah, I got good second-degree burns on that thing. I got. All of us have fond memories, but all of us have that memory too of like, yeah, I had to get aloe all over my legs because I burned it going down that slide.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah.
So we are doing one more big push for the park, and it will be December 3rd in the evening.
Okay.
This is a little different than anything we've ever done before.
Okay.
As in, it will be at the Anderson Museum.
Beautiful location.
It will be on the grand piano.
Nice.
And it's going to be
a tribute.
A
little fancy on this one.
Yeah.
A little bit. Little.
Yeah. A tribute to Carole King, and it's called Home Again, and she'll sing all the things from Tapestries. Okay. It's funny. when I mentioned Carole King, people are like, yeah, I know the name, but what did she do? You know, and it's like, you've got a friend. And that's James Taylor. Yeah, she wrote it.
Yeah.
You know, and I can't. Oh,
That's where the money is. The writing, by the way.
Oh, right, right. So she wrote a lot of James Taylor's, and you can hear it in his music.
So she got what Carly Simon didn't.
Yeah, I guess. So it was going to be on December 3rd in the evening. The concert itself will start at 7.
Okay.
The doors will open at 6 because there are going to be heavy, high-end hors d'oeuvres.
Okay.
And you will get a glass of champagne or non-alcoholic champagne.
Okay.
As you come in. So you can stroll and look at the artwork
Please do,
first.
because that's half the fun is seeing all the beautiful exhibits at the Anderson. And what I love about it, I don't care what you're into, there's probably something you're going to like.
Something for everybody.
It goes from conservative art to way out there, and it's somewhere in between. It's just there's a little bit of everything. Yeah. So
then from there, there will also be a cash bar, and we have 13, I believe, tables to sell.
Okay.
They are $1,200 a piece, and that includes your hors d'oeuvres, your champagne. You seat 8. We've already sold 6 tables.
Good.
So we are just now starting to sell tables.
Okay.
So that's why this is my first time on.
Just a hair under a month away to get it done. So.
And we also are selling single seats, and that's $150.
Okay.
All of the proceeds go towards the park.
Great.
We're really close to meeting our goal, so we're hoping this will
push it over.
One fell swoop push it over.
We're hoping to stop asking for money.
Exactly. You don't want to hear about this anymore, people.
For this project.
Buy a ticket.
I didn't put the caveat for this project.
And it is going to be catered by Peppers.
Awesome. So food's going to be delicious.
Yep. And she is really well known in the tribute world. You can go on and YouTube her. It's Deb DeLuca is her name. She looks like Carole King. She plays the grand piano and she sings her stuff. Yeah.
And here's
so it's a one-woman show. It's really awesome.
And what I love about this, because the Anderson, that's an intimate place. It's not like an arena or something. So you're going to be sitting in a room with this talented legend feet from you. And I would imagine the songs are going to be the entertainment, but the stories in between are going to be the real entertainment. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yes, the music's going to be beautiful and love it, but when you start hearing, since this lady wrote these songs, there's going to be a lot of inside baseball that she probably shares with the audience that you would not normally get or find or see on the internet even.
Right.
So
it's Too Late. That's another one of her big hits. I was like, I just heard it this morning on the radio. What was it? So It's Too Late was also a Carole King. So the one thing that we are not advertising in print, and I'm only going to say this once today, is that we do have $45 tickets that do not include the hors d'oeuvres or the champagne.
Just a show ticket.
You come in at 7 o'clock as we're just introducing her, and you just have a seat.
Okay.
That is all you're purchasing. It's $45.
You don't want to do all the food.
And you must call 575 513-8119.
Okay.
So I'm not going to mention it again, and I don't know if we'll mention it on another show or not.
Okay.
But I just wanted to let you know.
Yeah,
I already have a list of people that are interested in those.
Okay.
They're close to being sold out, so that's it. That's the only thing. What I'm going to do, the only push I'm going to do on that, because we really want you to come and experience the whole evening at $150 a seat. Or to buy a table at $1,200.
It is the best way to experience the event. And let's face it, the whole point of this event is to raise money for this all-inclusive park.
Right.
So we want you to overpay for everything just for a reason.
What? Actually, I stole the idea from another great group here in town. So thank you for the idea. I got to go to their event.
Come buy tickets and see if she did it right.
Yeah, exactly. Critique it. That's fine.
But yeah, in all seriousness, yes, it's going to be a fun night. Come and,
what a great way to kick off your holidays.
Yeah.
Or maybe have this as a holiday gift for someone.
I think it's going to be a beautiful date
bring your
night
family.
for someone, yeah. Especially if they're, a James Taylor fan or kind of a fan of that era of music. They're really going to appreciate an intimate evening with the woman that wrote these songs.
Right.
And hearing the songs, but hearing maybe some little, that to me, because that's, I think anybody that listens to this show long enough to know I'm a nugget information guy. I love that kind of stuff.
And that's been all of our tributes that we've had thus far.
Yeah.
And just a shout out to Roswell Little Theater. I will be back over there with other things.
A great group of people working hard over there.
Right. But we needed a grand piano.
They got an improv night coming up November 4th,
I know.
by the way.
I mean, Alethea's always saying,
This
why
Friday.
don't you join the improv group?
Yeah, that's
the one thing I don't think I do well is improv. So I'm like, I'm not so sure I want to put myself out there with that. But
November 4th, Friday night, come out and support them. That's their next improv night this Friday. So awesome. And there's no football in town, so you got no excuse.
Right. That is true. I know it trumps it in my town. So.
Yeah, and it's almost as bad here. Not quite Artesia level,
not
but
quite. So that is what's going on. And like we talked before, Kiwanis is doing this one last big push fundraiser for the all-inclusive park. We are still going to have in the spring a golf ball drop. We did it last year. It was super successful.
Yeah, it's fun.
So that will be, our general funds are kind of getting depleted. And then we want to be able to get back into the nitty-gritty and start supporting not only monetarily, but with our volunteers to come out for your event to support. I know that Alzheimer's Walk was last weekend, and so we were there.
Yeah. They had a great turnout, a great event. But by the way, I'm glad everyone that came out. Big thank you to them for that.
Oh, absolutely. So that was something that we did do. But we've been so consumed with this for the past 3, almost 4 years.
Yeah, this has been your main focus.
Yeah, that this is the last ta-da. So please come out and help us and support this event. So it really can be our last ta-da.
Yeah.
And then we can go back into coming out to plant the flowers and, just different things that we used to do.
Regular garden variety Kiwani stuff.
Yeah. We have not, other service groups have asked us about the All Civic Luncheon. I will tell you it is in the works.
Okay.
It has to do with the finish of the park.
Okay.
So there are some biting at the bit trying to be like, well, maybe we could do one. And it's like, no, our event, we're still going to do it.
We still got dibs on it.
We just are trying to make it all one thing. They licked their fingers
and put it on there and said dibs.
So yes, that is still in the works and we still will be doing one.
Okay.
What we're being told by the city, the last that we heard was that the park will at least be started or in really good shape by spring.
Oh, good.
So we're hoping that is true.
Yeah.
And then we can move forward with that.
Maybe we'll be doing a ribbon cutting.
We might be doing a ribbon cutting.
In late spring next year.
That's right. Maybe. Could be. So
knocking on wood.
That is true. Gunk, gunk. So again, make sure you come out to the Anderson, December 3rd.
Yes.
The concert itself will start at 7:15. It will run till about 9 o'clock. We will keep the cash bar open for intermission and also the food.
What time do they want to be there for the food and all that?
6 o'clock, the doors open.
So
you have an hour to eat
mingle and see
eat your heavy hors d'oeuvres and mingle and have a drink and see where you're seated. And again, it's all going to be very intimate. As you know, that room is very intimate with only 13 tables that will be in there.
And I would encourage you to get there early. Like doors open at 6. There's enough going on that you'll be entertained from 6 until 7:15 when the concert starts.
Absolutely.
You could spend that time alone just touring the museum.
Oh, yeah.
Just by yourself doing that. So I get it. If you don't get off work and you can't make it till 6:30, awesome. Love to have you. But if you can be there at 6, and especially if you've never toured the museum.
Right.
Like if you've never walked through and seen some of the art in the museum there, shame on you. And then come on out. And then there at 6 to go walk around before.
And this is a Saturday, just so that you know.
So you got the.
I know a lot of times we do things on weekdays, but we were able to get her on a weekend, so we thought that might be a good way to kick off the holiday season.
I agree. Yeah.
So, and today is at noon at Cerritos. If you're interested in joining us, we're always looking for people. Of course, again, we're going to blame the pandemic here because that's what everyone does with COVID. We've lost some members. Because of not being able to meet, different things.
Life happens.
Right.
People
life goes on.
Bigger priorities at
usually
the moment.
we were able to, we lose some, we gain some as we go. But it's been, we only meet twice a month now, the first and third Tuesdays of the month at Cerritos.
Not weekly.
Not weekly. It used to be weekly. So come out today, and then in 2 weeks, we will be at, it's called the Hermosa Church of Christ in Artesia. What is it here? Country Club Church
Country Club Road Church of Christ.
Yes,
Thank you.
And we'll be celebrating Thanksgiving. So if you want to come out for Thanksgiving, you can come there at noon.
Nice.
In 2 weeks. So
some pretty good food over there sometimes.
When
they do their dinners and things. Yeah, so good deal.
Yeah, we invite our Key Club kids. We have a high school program here, and we also have a college program that, let me tell you, those kids are going strong. They're doing a fundraiser right now where if you have old tennis shoes, And it could be, something you've used. It could be in good or bad condition. Does not matter. Donate it to them. It's called Got Sneakers. And you can give it to a Kiwanian or to, it's called Circle K Kids. They're in college, and that's a fundraiser that they're doing. They just they provide the bag. They fill it with the tennis shoes, the kids do, and then they get a check back. Those that are in really bad condition, at least we're keeping them out of landfills. Sure. The others, depending on the condition, the organization decides how much money they're going to give you for each pair and cut you a check.
I feel like if you find some artist types, they'll take those old sneakers off your hands and make some kind of recycled art out of them.
Right. So that's a fundraiser that Circle K is doing. They're always doing a fundraiser, so you might want to jump on Facebook and find them. They're out at ENMU.
Awesome.
We're super happy that they are part of our group, and they usually join us on Tuesdays as well. So awesome. you can meet some of the. And I believe that they're all women. That's just a fluke. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but that's what this year is.
Up that way. Yeah.
So, and they also do bring what you can, take what you need.
Oh, gotcha.
Which at the United Methodist, United Methodist has a little pantry thing there.
That was a godsend during the pandemic, and a lot of people popped up some of those during that time too. And First United's been doing theirs for years. Matter of fact, the college. ENMUR just started one for their students.
A food pantry.
Yeah, just like a week ago here.
Right.
So they've got that for their students.
And I'll tell you, United Methodist moved there. So
I think it's on the other side.
It's next to the building now instead of out in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Because I went out in the parking lot because I had things to give, and I'm like, where did it go? And from my office, I looked down and went, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
I went back out.
Yeah.
So just let everyone know. You look around. If you're used to it in one place, it's still there. You just have to find it.
Speaking of possible future, we were talking earlier about things. One of the things Kiwanians are known for here in Roswell, are pancakes ever in the future again?
Yes, they are.
Okay, good.
We talked about it yesterday, the president and I, and it's a new era, and we need to rethink how it's going to be done.
Okay. As long as you have Neighbor making Mickey Mouse pancakes, should be just fine.
He's making the turkey for Thanksgiving.
Is he?
Yes. So that could be. With that being said, I will switch hats just really quickly, and this is going to maybe take you off guard a little bit. I'm also an Altrusian in Artesia. So we did do an all-civic luncheon last Saturday.
Great.
And I would like to say that the Downtown Lions of Artesia, Ken Murphy, was the all-civic winner of that group.
Well,
and then we have Tammy Rinkin, who is in Duskin Derrick.
Okay.
She won for her group. And for Altrusa, it was Barbara, who puts together what we call the smorgasbord.
Yes.
But it's no longer talking about rethinking. This is what made me think of it. So smorgasbord was always exactly what it was.
A tradition, you go.
Well, now we do enchiladas, and it's all drive-through.
Okay.
So less labor.
Sure.
Same price.
I imagine COVID
same quality.
forced y'all to kind of alter your plans, and it just worked.
We did that for COVID, and it worked, and that's just where there's no come in and sit down anymore. So that's the kind of thing with a pancake breakfast. We need to rethink what is really going to work. Is a convention center a must?
Maybe the
do we have a
or
sit down?
Yeah.
Do we have just a drive through? Do we do the pancakes, the sausage, and everything we've always done, or is it just a pancake? 3 or 4 pancakes and a sausage. Like how exactly?
How do you pull it off?
Do we do that?
Yeah.
Is this a community event or is this a fundraiser?
Okay.
So those are all questions, and as you know, food cost has gone up.
Sure.
So. Hence, that may be something we have to talk about. But yes,
whatever form you guys bring it back, I'm sure the public, because I know that's just one of those events that everyone loves.
And you do, Kiwanis doing it all over the United States.
Yeah.
So I was in Indiana as a Kiwani, and that's where I started.
Yeah.
And we did a pancake breakfast.
It's kind of a tradition.
And it was different there than it is here.
Sure.
So, and that's great.
Yeah.
That you have different facets of it, but we're known for it.
I think it ebb and flows like over generations, because I remember like pancake breakfasts are more popular, but like when I was a kid, it seemed like more organizations were doing spaghetti dinners.
Right.
Like that was
a
the big thing, spaghetti dinners.
Yeah.
And so on a Thursday night, you go to like an Elks Lodge or something, do spaghetti dinners, kind of thing. So I feel like pancakes kind of turned into this era's version of spaghetti dinner. Of course, I grew up in Maryland, so we also, because people are crab eaters there. It's like green chili here, but crabs there.
Right.
And so they would have, when you weren't doing spaghetti dinners, they're doing crab fests during the summer when
Right. Well, I grew up in the Catholic Church that was predominantly Italian, so spaghetti dinners was always the fundraiser
that was
there.
just part of the deal
In Cleveland. So, yeah.
Well, it's because it's good and cheap, and you can feed a lot of people with it.
Inexpensive.
Yeah, that's right.
Not cheap.
Marketing.
That's right.
But again, if anybody has any questions about everything, you can always look for the Kiwanis Club of Roswell Facebook page.
Yes.
And you can shoot messages or questions. I encourage you to like and follow it to stay up to date on what's going on. And of course, like we said, the next Kiwanian meeting is today at noon at Cerritos. You don't have to get on Facebook to ask questions. Just come to the meeting at noon today.
Right.
And come learn about Kiwanians and learn and see if this is something that you'd like to be a part of.
I always say a bunch of people are like, what is a civic group? I'm like, well, a bunch of do-gooders.
That's right.
So if you want to be a do-gooder, come out to Kiwanis.
Come and be. This is, when they always say things like it takes a village and all that, this is what we talk about. Groups like our Kiwanians, and there's other great organizations.
And you're really lucky that here there's so many civic groups.
And they all, for the most part, kind of work in concert and things.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So, they're
absolutely.
it's all great. And,
absolutely.
And so, and by all means, if you come to Kiwanis Day and you're like, that's scheduled, then by all means, go visit one of our other great civic organizations.
There are breakfast clubs. Yeah. There are evening clubs. There are clubs that don't eat when they meet.
The non-eating clubs.
What's the point of that?
All right.
So
there's only like 2 people in those clubs because they want to eat.
There's Altrusa here.
Yeah.
And a little not well-known fact is that Altrusa was started by a Kiwanian. So that's
there is
my tie.
There is a bit of a kinship there.
Yes, because in 1989, that's when women were first admitted into Kiwanis, were allowed to be members. Okay. 1989.
That's late.
Oh, yeah.
That's very late.
So earlier on in, I'm going to say the 40s, and it might have been the 30s, and I just did what they called the yearbook. I should know. But a doctor went and got one of the ladies. He wanted them to be part of Kiwanis. Kiwanis said no. So then Mimi and he got together and came up with Altrusa.
Altrusa.
Very which cool. Started off as a business, more of a business networking for women.
Okay.
And has turned into
your LinkedIn
do-gooders.
Your LinkedIn of social clubs.
Exactly. I liked it. And now we're a bunch of do-gooders.
There you go. Now you're Facebook like the rest of us. Or Twitter or whatever your favorite one is. Very good. But then, again, noon today at Cerritos. And don't forget, December 3rd. Is the event at the Anderson Museum.
It's called Home Again, a tribute to Carole King by Deb DeLuca. And you can find out more information, buy tickets, or get a table at 575-513-8119. You can also call that number if you just want to make a donation to the all-inclusive park.
Absolutely.
And I will send you to the correct place.
Absolutely. Again, one more time on the phone number.
It is 575-513-8119. Kiwanis and the Autism of New Mexico partnering at the Anderson to do Home Again, a tribute to Carole King by Deb DeLuca.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun night. If you love the music of that era, you're going to have a fan that's going to want to.
If you like the album Tapestries, you're going to really love the concert.
Or shoot, even if you're a Taylor fan, come
James
and enjoy.
Taylor.
Did I say John? I meant James.
That's okay.
James Taylor.
John, James. They're both in the Bible, so they must be good names.
My brain was ahead of my mouth. That's what happened. And come be a part and just like I said, come out to lunch today and learn more about everything and let's hopefully by say late spring next year we've got a playground and we got kids enjoying it and every kid from every walk of life can come have a fun time there. So very good. As always, appreciate the visit, Laurie. We'll see you here next time, and obviously we're going to get you back in as we get a little closer to this event here in December to remind people. Hopefully, would be a good problem is you sold all the tickets and then you come back. You can come back, but I got nothing to sell you because all the tickets are gone.
I'm sure I have something else to sell you.
But hopefully you have that problem.
Right. I'm hoping.
Awesome. Thanks, Laurie. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Mike.